Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast, Dragon Ball Edition. We are going to be reviewing Dragon Ball Manga chapter number 66 and talking about the Moro arc in general. And today we are in person with the Dragon Ball expert, Mitch Osso. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, Martin. Finally glad to actually have you here at my home. Hopefully my home has treated you as a welcome guest. I believe I've cleaned it up pretty well, so hopefully I can actually keep it clean once you depart. So yeah, good to actually have you here, man.
Yeah, last time I was here, I was helping move in the stuff, so it was pretty cool to come and see how you guys put the house together, and you guys have put it together really, really well. And
to our producer, Justin, yes, my house does look clean compared to when you saw my apartment after I had to rip it up looking for stuff. So, yes. So it's a lot different than what you saw.
Yes, it is. But let's get right into it. Dragon Ball chapter number 66 dropped Friday at around 11 a.m. and it concluded the 2-year fight with Moro. So as I just said, this fight's been going on for 2 years. It just concluded. And Mitch, just take it away and talk about the highlights of the chapter, and we'll go from there.
All right, let's talk about what's going on. So the chapter starts off, you see the Z fighters, minus Goku off in the distance. They have been recovered by Dende, and they are discussing the battle between Moro and Goku. And Gohan states that as they are watching the fight, that something about the planet feels different, and that is because Moro has fused with the planet, and they're not aware of that. And then Gohan states that his body hurts all of a sudden out of nowhere. And Vegeta, with his previous experience fighting Moro, knows that Moro is absorbing everybody's energy. He informs all the fighters to get off the ground, so they fly up so that Moro cannot absorb any of their energy. And the next stills that we see here, Moro is draining all of the life on Earth, including all of the citizens of Earth. And then the chapter goes back to Goku and Moro is claiming that he's all powerful, he has all the energy, and they show scenes of Goku and Moro fighting, and Goku's just easily dodging all of Moro's attacks, even though Moro is the Earth himself. He's sprouting huge arms to punch Goku, even surprises Goku with a third arm out of the planet. And he goes on to tell Goku, well, I am the planet itself, you have nowhere left to run. And then he sprouts 7 arms to fight Goku. And Goku keeps dodging, and then the scene pans over to Beerus, Whis, Krillin, and Jocko. And to paraphrase, Beerus is stating that this isn't looking good, and he's going to step in.
So excited.
I know, right?
This is so excited.
We're sitting here, and this is what we've been wanting. We want Beerus to come in and actually show us something that we have not seen since he actually, in the anime, fought Goku at the beginning of Super, or whenever he was actually fighting the other gods of destruction in the exhibition match, or whenever he Hakkai'd Zamasu. So here we are, getting excited. Beerus is going to finish the job for Goku. Then all of a sudden, we get a buzzkill here when Whis gets a call from the Grand Priest saying that he wants Beerus and Whis to show up at his palace. So they leave, they depart. Beerus says to Krillin and all them, figure out your own issues. And prior to them leaving, though, Whis teleports over to Goku in the middle of their fight and tells him that the only way to defeat Moro is to once again shatter his forehead crystal, thereby releasing Merus's power. One thing that we discussed was we didn't understand why when Merus destroyed the crystal, why that didn't kill Moro then and there. And now this time, if Goku destroys the crystal, it will defeat Moro. It must just be because of Merus's immense power it just causes them to, well, just perish. Okay.
Also on that panel too, just to show the supreme power difference between Goku and Whis, how Whis casually came in and blocked one of Moro's punches with like his pinky.
Yeah,
that was a cool shot.
Even though Goku is an Ultra Instinct, he actually has to cross his arms to block the attack of Moro's giant fist, whereas Whis, not looking in the direction of Moro's other fist coming at him, literally holds his left pointer finger to block his attack. So even then, Whis, you can see how much significantly more powerful he is to even a mastered Ultra Instinct Goku.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what we took from that. And Goku basically starts to doubt whether he can actually do it. And Whis tells him, have faith in your own strength. You have divine power in you. Mm-hmm. So just do it, right? Well, then Beerus yells, kind of, it's kind of a kind of breaks the tension.
Running story of the Dragon Ball.
Running story of Beerus. Kind of breaks the tension, but oh well. Says that even if the planet is destroyed, and again he's saying this to Goku, you better save me some Earth food. You hear me? And then Goku chuckles, and then bam, they're gone. So then the pan shows Goku on the ground, looking at Moro. Moro looks like a hillside with his head and horns protruding out of the ground and whatnot. And Goku sees the crystal is slowly getting buried into the earth as Moro is trying to hide it away from Goku. And Goku's about to go and attack. And here we go. Vegeta's on his way to, save the day or set everyone else for success. And Vegeta shows up, and then he starts punching the ground, doing his forced spirit fission. I had to make sure I said it correctly. To separate all of the energy that Moro is taking from the earth, so then the crystal itself doesn't get hidden away. It causes it to be more exposed. And what we learn, though, is that while Vegeta is separating the power from Moro, Moro is still absorbing power from everything touching the earth. So there's this internal struggle that Vegeta is trying to separate all the power from Moro, while Moro is taking energy away from Vegeta himself. Vegeta tells Goku, get to it, and Goku powers up a very powerful punch, and he sprints towards Moro. Moro, trying to dodge or prevent Goku from doing that, tries to catch him with all of his arms. And some of the pans, Goku just literally is dodging and then just blasts right through the palm of all of Moro's hands and almost gets there. And then at the very last second, Moro is able to catch Goku because Goku can't go through all of the hands. So, and then Goku is getting his energy drained as well now that he is being held by Moro. And as they're doing that, Goku will, actually it's in the next pan, Goku doubts that he actually can still do it because he doesn't have enough God power.
Drops back to normal, right?
In the next pan, but right before that, Krillin states, as he's observing the fight, that he couldn't reach the crystal because he ran out of God power, and Jocko has this realization of something, in which then Jocko disappears, tells Krillin he has to go run an errand, and then he's I'm going the wrong way on my screenshots here, and then he just disappears, right? And Goku, as Martin said, reverts back to his base form, and Vegeta's like, oh no, and all this stuff, and then the other Z fighters show up, and Piccolo asks Vegeta the question about his spirit fission, and Vegeta do it in reverse. And what he wants to do is gather up all of their energy and then use Vegeta's power to give it to Goku. Personally, we're going to discuss that because I think that's kind of strange. But well, so they give all their energy to Goku, right? And then Piccolo tells the people on the lookout, like Dende, to donate their powers, and Goten and Trunks, while they're on 17's island protecting the animals, they donate their power to, and then Vegeta gives that power to Goku after even he gives his own power to it, which is kind of uncharacteristic of Vegeta to give away energy at first. Oh well. Then Goku gets the energy, gets super powered, but he turns into Super Saiyan Blue form and not Ultra Instinct. Piccolo knows that that's not good, because Ultra Instinct is what they need, and we come to learn that for Goku to actually go back into Ultra Instinct, he needs God Power to do so. Kind of strange in my eyes that Vegeta's Super Saiyan Blue form is not, enough God Power for him.
I actually wanted to, when you brought that up, to talk about that, because even non-canically, the first Broly movie, when they were fighting Teen Gohan at the time, Trunks, Piccolo, they were giving their energy to Goku, and then that wasn't still not enough to beat Broly. But when Vegeta gave it, it was more than enough to beat Broly. And then even now here in Super, I'm assuming also Vegeta wasn't even at Super Saiyan Blue. I'm assuming he was at Super Saiyan Blue Evolution or Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. And to think that he's fully healed and everyone else is giving their energy and plus his, and that's not enough to go even Ultra Instinct Omega, that kind of, I felt like it was just a plot device for what you're about to talk about next, because it makes no sense to me that everyone was fully healed. Vegeta's at Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, which is above Super Saiyan Blue and perfected Super Saiyan Blue, and that wasn't enough. That puzzled me.
Now, just to confirm, now the manga chapter that we're reading is not in color. That comes later on. Now, that is what I'm looking at. Would you agree? Is Super Saiyan Blue Evolution? That's not a normal Super.
No, that's Super Saiyan Blue Evolution.
Yeah, Super Saiyan Blue. That's divine energy right there.
It's beyond even Super Saiyan Blue. So
correct. So this divine energy that even Vegeta's donating is apparently not either enough or not what Goku needs to go into Ultra Instinct. Alright. So,
but to point on your point on that too, because I also want to bring up the anime, what they did that, because remember, Vegeta was, anime-wise, he was at the last of his energy because he did the final explosion to beat Toppo, and when he was trying to do his last stand against Jiren, and when Jiren knocked him out, and this is Vegeta, not healed at all, shot a little baby blast to Goku, and that was able to get Goku off the ground to Super Saiyan Blue, just that tiny blast. So to think that a fully healed Vegeta can't get him to at least Omen, it's kind of ridiculous. But
yeah, that part doesn't make sense. I also, before we hop back into the remainder of the chapter, I don't understand why they were using Vegeta to donate their energy, because I feel like we've seen in other mediums that they can just donate their energy freely to whatever. So
I mean, just think of it like the Spirit Bomb.
So they got the Spirit Bomb. They put their hands up and they donate their energy. We can talk about in the anime when, like you said, Vegeta literally threw his own energy at Goku before he got knocked out to give Goku that second life. And you go back to the first Dragon Ball Broly movie. All of the Z fighters were donating their energy to Goku, and then Goku got his last little bit from Vegeta, and then defeated Broly. No Force Spirit Fission in any of that. Reverse Spirit, whatever. And so, I don't understand why that is needed for this one, but hey, they're just trying to connect Vegeta into the end of this arc so that he can be a hero. Cool. Well, with that being said, what happens? You see that Goku doesn't have enough energy, right? And the people on the lookout they're exhausted too because they donated their powers. Dende says his divine power is still developing, so it didn't help much. And then all of a sudden, here comes Jocko. Jocko asks Bulma, "Where's Majin Buu? We need his power." Bulma points to where he's at. The screen goes back to Moro, and Goku basically is admitting that this is his fault. Piccolo says it's over. Yamcha has an idea as to if the Z Fighters could just leave Earth and go get the Super Dragon Balls and fix everything once Moro explodes. But Krillin says that's not going work because Moro explodes, the galaxy goes with him. Curious if they're actually trying to say galaxy or universe.
I would think universe.
Yeah, I think universe because all these guys are at a power level that could destroy the universe, as stated in other mediums. Like Beerus can destroy a universe. They have stated that when Beerus and Champa were fighting, that their fight could destroy the universe. Again, I think that was anime, and because of Moro's explosion that's imminent, it would destroy the Super Dragon Balls that are located in Universe 7.
Yep.
So, yep. And everyone kind of accepts their defeat, and Yamcha's sad that he's going to die a bachelor. And then Tien states, hey, we might as well go over, either be with Goku or assist Goku because he's shown to have to die like that, in Moro's grip there. And then out of nowhere, Chaozu, who's there as well, he looks up and he sees a huge, massive ball of energy that shows up out of nowhere. Catches everyone off guard, completely surprised. Vegeta, completely caught off guard and doesn't know where it came from. And Goku, in the clutches of Moro, says to himself that he feels the divine strength of that energy. And then Vegeta is completely confused, wondering how this ridiculous amount of energy came to be, and doesn't know who sent it. And then we see out in somewhere else on Earth, the photos show a village, and then we see Majin Buu, or should I say the Grand Supreme Kai, he took over Majin Buu's body like what he did back in one of the early late chapters of the Moro arc. He finds Oob. And has Oob donating energy towards this cause. Now, the reason why they're doing that is because since Oob is a reincarnation of Kid Buu, back in, again, one of the early chapters of the Moro arc, it was stated that Kid Buu received god powers when Majin Buu and that evil Buu had split. And then he was destroyed by Goku's Spirit Bomb. So with the Grand Supreme Kai having reincarnation of Kid Buu donate his powers, that's how they were able to receive the divine energy that they need. And so now in the screens here, Jocko is still on the lookout. So we don't know if Jocko told Majin Buu to go find Oob, or if Majin Buu had awakened and instantly knew that's what he needed to do, so he went to Oob. But Grand Supreme Kai is again with Oob, and Oob is like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't know what I'm doing. And he says, yes, that's perfect. Thank you, and sorry for the sudden trouble. Big, pinkish, whatever color guy just comes out of nowhere and just says like, hey, can you donate energy to an unknown cause, even though you're like 4 years old or however old he is. And Vegeta then takes this new divine energy, throws it right at Goku, and with the hype now is whoever's key this is, take it and use it for another round of Ultra Instinct. And then it hits Goku, and the energy is so immense that even though Moro has his hands clutched around Goku, Goku uses his energy to create, as Martin would describe as a
Megazord of himself.
A Megazord. The best description of it. Goku creates a energy duplication of himself. And this giant Megazord Goku then splits the grip of Moro, and he's holding Moro in place, and everyone's in shock by what they're looking at. And in the middle of this energy aura, version of Goku is, Goku in his Ultra Instinct form, and he gathers his composure, and he then winds up his punch, and he dashes towards Moro. again, Moro's hands are now his two primary. I don't know where his other hands went. Are being held by the energy aura. Goku, and then Goku punches the crystal, shattering it. In some pretty sweet depictions. Whis, while he's traveling away from Earth, looks back, smiles, knowing that Goku succeeded. And then the crystal gets destroyed. Moro collapses and seems to crumble and disintegrate. And then there's a explosion, and everyone gathers themselves and asks what happened. And they look over, and there's Goku standing in the rubble where Moro's body was, or his depiction of the Earth was. And Goku looks back and gives a thumbs up, indicating that Moro's been defeated. And that is how the chapter ends. So, I'll tell you one thing that was good about this. We weren't expecting that Oob was going to be involved like this.
He was the biggest shocker
I know.
Probably in recent Dragon Ball Super chapters memories. He was the biggest shocker. No one predicted Oob. No one even predicted the Grand Supreme Kai to wake up in time to contribute. So that was super good. Yeah, we hoped. We hoped.
But they didn't show that in any of the previous chapters. So, like what we discussed, we thought he was actually going to show up on the battlefield. Mm-hmm. So we didn't get that, but there's nothing wrong with that. Them incorporating Oob for the divine energy is, I applaud that. I think that was a nice original.
Yeah, I guess to get Oob involved, and then if they're still trying to keep on track to still have the same ending as Z with Goku picking Oob, that adds more to his reasoning. But I'm still stuck on the divine energy, because we were talking about it before recording about the Ultra Instinct, because it contradicts everything from the Tournament of Power. I guess too, because every time we saw Goku get Ultra Instinct, he was tired, beat down, past his limits. So like someone giving him this jolt of energy, it just felt different, because the previous Ultra Instinct times he was like well past his limits, and then he just shatters. This time they're like, oh, now we need God energy to go Ultra Instinct. And you talked about it before. It's like, that changes what Ultra Instinct is. Now you need God energy to go Ultra Instinct. So now to someone like the strongest mortal in all the universes, Jiren, can he not go Ultra Instinct because he doesn't have God energy, or like other people like that? Mm-hmm. Those are things I've taken from this chapter. And then I also, looking at it, I don't see 17 and 18 in that circle. Was it just the human Z fighters and Piccolo and Gohan, or like where were they at? Did they just decide to stand on the rock?
Yeah, that's actually good.
Because they have unlimited energy, so they could have just been kept given energy.
I just want to know, now that you bring it up, because I didn't think about that, where have they been?
Well, 17 and 18 were in the main fight.
Yeah, they were.
Remember, it was
because when Goku first showed up, and then he was Omen versus Moro. Mm-hmm. 17 and 18 were there. You remember that? Like, well, yeah, they were elbowed in the back.
Remember, yeah, they were in the main fight. It wasn't even Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu. They weren't there, so they just got there, which makes no sense. Krillin got there because he came with the sensu beans, and we talked about that in nauseam. We don't have to talk about that, but 17 and 18 were there because they were part of the group. If you remember, that was probably one of the most iconic slides of this Moro arc, where Moro absorbed 7-3, Goku was down, Vegeta was down, Gohan was down, Piccolo was down, 17 and 18 were down. That's when Miras came, and because Dende's like, oh, we're about to lose, and that's when Miras came. So I was like, where are they at?
That's true. I haven't thought about the whereabouts of 17 and 18. Like you said, they were knocked down. Mm-hmm. Miras came. Dende healed them. I can't even remember if Dende healed them.
Yeah, he did, because they were on the rock when Goku mastered Ultra Instinct and he was beaten up.
But you never saw them fly away.
No, you didn't. So that's a plot thing.
Yep, so they just totally forgot about two important characters, but that's kind of funny they bring that up. Diving back into what you said about, divine power, like, you need to actually be a god of some magnitude to be able to have Ultra Instinct now. let's assume that to be true then. So they got the god power from Oob, who, grants a guy from whatever. And now the question though is that why was Vegeta's Super Saiyan Blue power? Why was that not divine enough for him to be, or to give it to Goku?
Only
trying to retract the fact that Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue are not divine energies anymore?
No, I think they're divine. I think it was only for two things. One, the plot device for Oob to come in. And B, honestly, maybe because it wasn't pure divine, because his energy got mixed with the others, so it took away from like the divineness of his power. So that could, so diluted it. So that could be the reason why. Or the third one is that he was still doing the stuff on the ground, and that took energy, and he didn't have enough. But I feel like it's all those type of three things.
That would make sense if it, diluted it. That would make way more sense. And even if, I wonder if they could ever say that, like, it's not Super Saiyan God energy is not completely divine in itself because it was created by, like, mortals, It's not like the Grand Supreme Kai was created by, Zeno or whomever.
Yeah, but now saying that diluted thing, I just thought about, they did the Saiyan ritual with a human woman who just had a 1/4 Saiyan fetus inside her. So diluted can't really be the answer either, because Pan wasn't even born yet, and that was enough to count as a Saiyan to go Super Saiyan God, which is a god. So
yeah, probably in that aspect, we're probably diving too deep into it. We're kind of being a little too nitpicky, but it's just kind of funny just to think about what are we trying to. What's this message here we're trying to get in these last couple pages of the chapter? But
I'll tell you what, my favorite page was the Beerus Whis page, because when Beerus is like, "Oh, I gotta help now," and he stepped out of that circle, and even Whis looked at him like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Yes, let's do it." And then Whis coming in and them leaving the Grand Priest, which I think is going to start the next chapter, because there's going to be repercussions for Maris.
We're definitely going to see that. That's probably how it'll wind down. I hope it also explains more of like why Moro is like who he is. Because we never got a backstory on Moro other than he was just some evil guy that tried to eat planets, and I mean he had a beef with gods. Like what Bibbidi did. Bibbidi had a beef with the gods. Moro has a beef with gods.
Dragon Ball Heroes Hearts had a beef with the gods.
Yeah, everyone has these beef with gods, and I just want to know like why Moro is the way he is, because I can't picture his backstory being, I don't like the gods because they screwed me over. I don't think I'm going to see that unless it was like in his real life. Like one of our earliest predictions was that maybe Moro was the former god of destruction of Universe 7 prior to Beerus, and Beerus was his angel, and he went rogue. Beerus stopped him because he was just too chaotic for his job. That didn't pan out that way, or at least in terms of Beerus being his angel. But maybe they can come out with a backstory of Moro in which maybe he'll be a god of destruction. But probably not. But at least that would answer something about him. Now the question that for the listeners asked Martin last week, do we think that when Whis and Beerus get to Grand Priest's palace, Beerus is going to be there standing there?
No, not after seeing that chapter. I mean, that's no.
You mean the one where he vanished?
Yeah, and then now them calling and leaving immediately. And then he's like, oh, he must have found out that he poofed. I think that's what Beerus said. Yeah, I think he's gone. And then Grand Priest is going to... I hope the chapter starts with that. I really do. Next week.
They never truly dove into like what the angel laws are all about, other than, an angel using his full powers against mortal without the permission of their god of destruction.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you can't do that. Do you believe that Beerus is coming back? at all. You don't think so?
Mm-hmm.
I think he will. That's just a prediction because I think to myself, if Mirrors is a angel in training, then when you're training somebody for a new job or whatever it might be, they're going to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And, for whatever reason they make those mistakes, it's your job then to train them to make sure that they don't do those mistakes again. Now, maybe Mirrors doesn't come back because whenever he was about to go full power against Goku during their training phase, we showed up and told him, "You do this, you get a wipe." So maybe that was his opportunity to not ever do it again. But if he's an angel in training, then I feel like he would get another chance. Now, if this was like Whis, Whis is a attendant to a god of destruction. Apparently, he has reached a level of wisdom that if he made that mistake, he doesn't get a second chance because he should know better. But Mirrors is a angel in training, so.
But how long do you have to be an angel in training? What if he's been an angel in training for like the past 5 million years?
Not sure. I don't even know what is an angel in training.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like, okay, are we, like, does he have to wait until a new universe comes for him to actually take the reins as the attendant for that one? What would be nice to do is actually the angel for one of the erased universes of 13 to 18, but that didn't well. So who knows? But I don't know. I feel like we're going to see him again, but I mean, I very well could be wrong on that one.
Yeah, and then with the ending too, I know that was something we talked about on the preview of like what the ending is going to be. I think anyone with a brain knew that Vegeta's spirit Fisher thing was going to get involved somehow, which it did. We knew he was going to, like, as soon as he fused with the Earth, everyone's like, oh, Vegeta's going to help. We thought he was just going to separate them. Then Goku Kamehamehas him. But that was not the case, that he was trying to separate him, but he was still gaining energy. But he did his part. He threw the energy at Goku twice. And then with Oob coming in and Goku just smashing the crystal, which I feel like was a crop out, but that was the way that they ended it. But now with this villain being defeated in this way, it also goes to another running thing with Goku, that Goku hasn't beat a main villain by himself since Frieza.
Yeah.
Like, for the people who always say that Goku always wins at the end, I would say that Goku is the one who gets like the last shot, but it's always a group effort from Jiren to Zamasu to obviously Kid Buu, now Moro. It's never just Goku by himself now. It's always been a group effort in some way.
Yeah, I don't think ever since Dragon Ball and then it transitioned away from even Z, I don't think we'll ever see Goku defeat someone by himself.
Yeah.
Ever.
Even Broly, they had to fuse in the movie, so.
Yep. Maybe he defeats like a secondary villain, like, if they redid this thing and Goku beats 7-3.
Yeah. Wasn't he the one who beat him?
Yeah, he beat him down and then tossed him.
Mm-hmm.
Or they retreated back up to their ship while Moro was fighting. I don't think we'll ever see. I don't think we'll see anyone ever defeat someone straight up by themselves anymore.
The main villain.
Yeah, because Vegeta will never do it. If Vegeta didn't do it in this chapter, I mean, or this arc, I don't think you'll ever see it. Because I thought this chapter or this arc, I don't know why I keep saying chapter, this arc was setting up Vegeta to be the main hero.
That's how it felt for the past 2 years.
Yep. And he did his thing, but he also did his thing whenever he blasted Cell to help Gohan.
Mm-hmm.
He did his thing whenever he helped gather the energy for the Spirit Bomb against Buu, and like that's the role that Vegeta has, is that he sets you up.
Yep. And I just want to talk now, since we're talking about this chapter and you just brought up the arc. Arc's basically over. So
maybe a chapter or two, just tying up loose ends, and then we'll transition into
the next arc, which. So now with the Moro arc being over, main fight being over, what are your thoughts? Like, what did you like about this arc? What did you didn't like, and what would you want to change now that it's over and fresh in your mind?
I liked Moro. The idea of Moro. He was a villain that fought, the Supreme Kai. I don't understand why he sat in jail for so long.
Over 10 million years.
Over 10 million years. But okay. But I liked the thought of magic. It wasn't like, divine energy. It wasn't just brute strength like Broly and Jiren are. It added an element of just intrigue. Someone didn't have to be physically as strong to get an upper hand on the Z fight. So that was cool. And I liked in the arc what they were doing with Vegeta.
Yep.
They gave Vegeta character development whenever he was protecting the Namekians, whenever he went to Yardrat to try to learn new things. And then I liked that Beerus was an angel, and that Beerus was training Goku on how to achieve Ultra Instinct. Then some of the things that happened at the end there, I thought Moro fusing with the Earth was a pretty cool idea.
It was very different.
It definitely, like I said, different. And all of these things gave us different predictions of what we thought would happen. Now, I think naturally, when you have an idea as to what you think will happen or what you hope will happen, even whenever the thing or whatever happens, you're naturally going to sort of dismiss it, But I mean, I still think that there was room for improvement for how this stuff was delivered. I thought that we introduced Grand Supreme Kai and Majin Buu was effective in that first fight, but nothing more of that. We were given the cop-out reason. Buu was sleeping. Like, okay, Buu was sleeping has been an annoyance forever.
Well, now you're starting to think, could the Grand Supreme Kai just switch places with Buu and wake up?
Yeah. Shouldn't he actually be the Supreme Kai in which Beerus is tied to now? Because he exists still.
Yeah.
And it's like, who is really the Supreme Kai that is tied to Beerus? Is it really the East Kai? Like, is he really the one? Or, we've never had clarification on that. So, that's something that we're just going to always ponder on. I don't like that it seems that Goku can just go into MUI now, just with, at will. And granted, he was weak there at the end, so that makes sense. I don't like that. I wish maybe there was one more arc. Maybe the next arc I was hoping for that. I am happy, though, that Ultra Instinct Goku needed hold on, I need to come right here. I was gonna say I'm glad that Goku needed assistance to beat Moro, but if Goku wasn't stupid with the worst part of his arc, the Senzu Bean, then we would not have needed the end.
Well, even if you want to go far back, Goku would not have mastered MUI if Vegeta would have killed Moro, because that wouldn't have been needed.
No.
Yeah, at the beginning, because when Vegeta was about to finish him off, that's when he absorbed 7-3.
Yeah. These guys just talk way too much. So I'm in agreement with that. But yeah, I mean, 7-3 was sweet.
Yeah, he was good.
He was a villain that was intriguing, and I'm glad they introduced him. And I think it's weird that Moro ate him though. But
yeah, ate him whole too. Didn't even turn him to candy like Boo. Just ate him.
Yep. And the last thing that I just wonder about this arc is just that why was there so much sort of copying and pasting from the other arcs we've had in Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, too much similarities with stuff. And I wonder if that was done on purpose or accident. And even with, at the end here, Goku using his newfound divine power to make giant aura of himself. I don't watch Naruto, but that was in some of the threads that were going around.
Yeah,
that was a copy
of like the Susanoo manifestation with certain people of the Uchiha clan. That's what a lot of people were calling it that.
Full disclosure, listeners, I have no idea anything about Naruto. I am a Dragon Ball fanatic. Maybe I get my wife on the podcast because she knows a lot more about Naruto than me. Yeah. So
that's what
you guys actually want that, please leave a comment in the anywhere that you're listening.
Shameless plug.
And try to get my wife on one of these podcasts. So.
But yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying too, and I saw it too. But yeah, with the Moro arc now, 2 years done, I'm just going to go backwards. Things I didn't like, MUI basically being learned a week after the Tournament of Power. Just in our time frame, it's probably been a couple months, but then it went Tournament of Power, Broly, and then Moro, and then now he just knows. Well, first he did the 3 months with Miras and was able to master Omen, and then when Miras dies, he now knows how to go into MUI at will, and I think that's problematic because even one of the pages here, when Goku got the energy, Piccolo was like, oh, he's just Super Saiyan Blue. Like, Super Saiyan Blue is not like a Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan is just chump change. And I don't think that's going to happen to MUI, but it's like, now I'm not sure MUI is going to be the end-all form of this Dragon Ball Super, because sooner or later, now the next bad guy is going to have to be stronger than Moro. Mm-hmm. It's just the way it is. And that bad guy, but then again, the writing's inconsistent. That bad guy can't be a fused person. Because Vegeta just straight up said he could rip out Kami and Nail from Piccolo if he wants to, so you can't have a fusion. So it's going to have to be someone like Jiren, but omega-ly evil and even more sinister and dangerous. So that was one thing I did not like. But going to things I did like, Goku and Vegeta go in their separate paths to train. Obviously, Vegeta, with the character development, talking about like all the stuff he did to the Namekians and changing. Oob/Boo/Grand Supreme Kai all being involved. That was cool. But then I guess one thing you didn't say is when Moro's army came to Earth, before Goku and Vegeta got there, the rest of the Z Fighters were fighting. Mm-hmm. Which we don't get to see often anymore because it's the Goku and Vegeta show. And they're the only ones who continuously get stronger, and everyone else is still stuck in the Boo arc, unless you're like 17, who was... Last time we saw him was getting 8 by Cell, but then comes back in Super, and he's super strong. But everyone else is stuck in the past while those two keep growing. But even Yamcha, they were fighting for Earth. So I'd like to see more of that, them holding their own to an extent before the big bosses come.
I think what I liked about them actually fighting is, okay, if we're going to have, Goku and Vegeta and, like, all of these arcs, that's fine. Because, like, let's look back to Z, right? Mm-hmm. So after Raditz, Goku and Piccolo fought. Okay, you had then Vegeta and Nappa, where that started off with Piccolo, Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu and Gohan
Krillin
fighting against them, and then they fought Nappa, cool, and it drug out, and it was good. It got involved, and then they Goku arrives after some of them are killed or injured. And then Goku is fighting, sweet, and then Krillin, Yajirobe, Gohan help finish it off. Okay, cool. We had the other Z Fighters. Then on Namek, Goku wasn't there until close to the middle end. And
shut up with Raccoon. Yeah.
So Krillin and Gohan and Bulma go, and they're fighting and doing their stuff on Namek. Piccolo shows up. Well, Vegeta shows up. And his stuff, Piccolo shows up, cool, and Goku. So then Goku kind of finishes it off, and at the end they get other people involved, like King Kai and Dende and
Piccolo.
Yeah,
Piccolo comes back.
Yep. And cool. So we again had other Z Fighters. Awesome. Then Cell came along. Goku is again out of action as he did in those other 2 arcs with the Heart Virus.
Yeah, but he did start that arc. He started fighting the main
19,
people at the point.
19 and 20. But fortunately, that was quick enough.
Yeah.
to get him out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So then, again, you still had the Z Fighters going up against Dro in 19, and then going up against the androids, getting their ass kicked, and then Piccolo fuses, and he fights, and then Vegeta trains Trunks, they fight, and then ban Goku, and then, our surprise, Gohan finishes that part. Sweet. And with the Majin Buu arc, Goku's at the beginning, and since he comes back, have a sweet fight with Vegeta,
Mm-hmm.
and then other Z fighters progress, and then Goku Vegeta ends. So that's how all of Z was. Super's been kind of a, Goku and Vegeta start to finish.
Yep.
And then the Tournament of Power obviously had to involve the other Z fighters, so that was good. And then this arc started off with Goku and Vegeta, and they had to go and do their thing, and then the Z fighters showed up. So I'm in agreement with you. I'm glad that the Z fighters actually did stuff in the meantime. And hopefully in the anime, when/if it comes back, they kind of elaborate on that more and more.
So on a scale of 1 to 10 before we get the tie-in chapter, what would you rate the Moro arc?
Like my natural number is probably like 6 or 7, but I don't want that to come across as being bad. Like a bad 6 or 7 is like a good like 6 or 7. There was room for improvement, and honestly, I could say they at least lost a single point just because of the sense beam.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I mean, if the sense beam didn't happen and this other stuff, I mean, I'm looking at a 7 or 8. That always room for improvement, but also we're critics, so we're always thinking it could be better. Unless it's Endgame. Avengers.
Yeah. I think around 6 or 7 is fair. I actually think if you take, I'm just trying to decide between this and Goku Black. If this is my favorite arc in Super, I really didn't care for the 6 vs 7. Frieza and Beerus were the movies. Tournament of Power, they were just, from anime to manga, there's so many inconsistencies, but I mean, this arc was very interesting and compelling, so I would say 6 or 7. We'll see how they tie it up next month, and then that might elevate it. So that's just what I think about it. So.
And I do want to do a video, we'll probably wrap this up, but just on what like our original ideas of the character were.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that'd be interesting. It might be a short video, but it'd be something fun to talk about.
Yeah, more on the Moro arc, but we are at the 48-minute mark now. So, Mitch, you got anything else you want to say about this chapter and the Moro arc in general?
Can't wait to see Moro in a video game or on television. Always excited for it. All the voice actors. I always want to hear what they sound like. So I'm just curious if Moro is going to be in Xenoverse 2 or if he's going to be in Xenoverse 3 making his grand appearance. Looks like it's probably going to be Xenoverse 2. They pump out it for the past 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years, but I think with the PS5 and Xbox out,
they have to get a new game on the new console.
They'll get a new game. But yeah, with that being said, we will wrap up the manga review and Moro review. Thank you, Mitch, for always being a part of these. These are always greatly appreciated. And thank you to all the listeners, wherever you listen on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. We appreciate you guys. We see that you guys love Dragon Ball as much as we do. So just when you're listening to our stuff, especially on YouTube, leave some comments so that we can see what you guys think so that we can take it back and go over your points and be like, oh, that person made a good point. So just remember to always like, rate, comment, subscribe wherever you're at. And thank you guys for always listening.
Well, that's it for me. All of that support and what you guys give to us, we truly appreciate it. And we just finally ask you to keep supporting the channel. We hope to continue growing, and you guys are a big part of that. And that's all for me. So I hope you all take care, have a good one, and Well, thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the L7C podcast. We'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.